What's going on, everyone? So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the 10 best decks post February 5th today, February 5th. Now, as a disclaimer, the format is still new, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you these are the best decks to play ever and all that crap, because I know a lot of people have been giving us YouTubers flex about some, oh, we're making videos right away without letting the format give some time to simmer, yada, yada, yada. These are just predictions. Get your panties out your ass. And just realize this video is just meant to help guide people in the right direction on choosing what deck they want to play. So with all that being said, man, like I said, this is the 10 best decks I personally think will do good post today's format and beyond. So all that being said, guys, smash that like button. Let's get 200 likes and let's get into it. Starting with number 10, Masked Heroes. Now, for a lot of you guys already know, I took Masked Heroes to my regions this past weekend. I scrubbed out, but I did see how good the deck really was. Now, Masked Heroes can make Dark Claw first turn really easy. They got the 3 Summoner Monks, and you know, sitting on Dark Claw could just do you some good. The biggest issue Masked Heroes had, honestly speaking, was the fact, like, for example, when I played this weekend, I only really lost against Magic Bullets, so I didn't know what that deck did. And I lost against SPYRAL one time, and I lost against Cubics, which is crazy. But the SPYRAL deck I lost against is because he maxed out on SPYRAL Tough, which I was totally unprepared for. And it was just too much going on. With SPYRALs being weakened right now, with the Resort at 1, and you know, everything else is at 1, I believe Heroes could just be a force to be reckoned with. Because if you open up Dark Claw plus back row, you're going to be in a really good position to just wreck the opponent's face. I mean, overall, it's not as good as it used to be. There are some downfalls to the deck. Major downflaw is once you make Dark Claw, even if you open up Dark Claw hand traps, if they get rid of your Dark Claw, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna lose unless you just have like a Back to the Front, which is an amazing card in the deck, and or a BLS, which is another amazing card in the deck. Hero deck profile comes soon. But overall, man, Masked Heroes had to make this list. I think it's a solid contender in this format. And because the tier 1 decks got weakened, you know, Tricks with Magicians getting weakened and Spirals getting weakened, Heroes is definitely a force to be reckoned with. Number 9, Qliphort. Now, before I move forward with number 9, 1 is not better than 10, 10 is not better than 1. I don't rank these videos per se. They're just all like a congregation of stuff that I think is good. Now, the reason why I have Qliphort on this list in general is because the tower is high. They gave us towers back to 1. If you guys remember towers, I believe he ate a card out of the hand and he couldn't be targeted by card effects. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section down below. And Sacrifice is back at 3. Sacrifice is that card that boosted Qliphort monster attack by 300 and allowed him to not be destroyed, which is really good because when Sacrifice was at 3 back in the day when Qliphort was at their prime, it allowed the opponent to stall enough time till they get their resources. Kind of similar to how if someone has Baguska on the board and they're just stalling until they get their ultimate resources fully developed. And Qliphort can run things like not Soul Charge, but Skill Drain. They have that Qliphort kind of version of Skill Drain where you activate it, level 4 monsters get shifted back. And they also have a bunch of negation stuff. I think Qliphort could be really good potential for this format, which is why I had to have it on this list. Number 8, Burning Abyss. Now, Burning Abyss was already an okay rogue deck. Moving into last format because they can main deck Skill Drain. They all float #it. And, you know, they can abuse the heck out of TT. Torrential Tribute being back at 3 is really good because if you're constantly board wiping the opponent and your deck floats, you're not going to lose resources while your opponent is going to run low on a lot of resources, which is really good. So, you know, moving forward, if you build a Burning Abyss deck now, just like if you build a hero deck now, and once the rest of the support for your deck get released throughout the year, you're going to have a solid tier 1 deck for Nationals. I think Burning Abyss in general is just a good deck to pick up and play for the format because it's very solid because it can be used TT. Number 7, World Chalice. Now, World Chalice biggest fear previously was Max C. The advocate of Max C being a thing was very challenging for the deck because the whole deck revolves around spamming to the board, and Max C pretty much said, not today with that concept. Now with Max C gone, and we have a lot of more, now with Max C gone, and we have a card called Mind Control at 3. Let me get to Mind Control. It's like, Mind Control is so broken. I side decked it at 1 at regionals, and just taking your opponent's link monster, linking off, making you a decode talker, whatever link monster is lit. World Chalice is a link-based deck. Maxi's gone. Mind Control is a link-based card. Pit 2 and 2 together, you guys see where I'm going with this? Mind Control can pretty much wreck the meta because a lot of World Chalice monsters are kind of generic and they require World Chalice monsters. And then you also have things like Firewall Dragon. So imagine a mirror match. Imagine there's any deck you can run it. I encourage a lot of World Chalice players to test out the Mind Control at 3 just to see what you can do with it. But overall, man, I think the deck is a force to be reckoned with, which I have it on this list. Number 6, ABC. Now, this is just standard. The tier 1 decks of the format got weakened, and ABC was a solid deck. I'm not going to hold too much on it. You guys know what the deck does. Bring out ABC Buster Dragon, sit on it, banish stuff, shenanigans. Number 5, same concept with True Draco Invoked. The tier 1 decks got weakened. Tier 1 decks being Pendulum Magicians and Spirals got weakened to the point where they're a little bit unplayable due to the fact that their consistency got hit. True Draco, Masterpiece is still a thing. The only issue with Masterpiece is a lot of guys already know. Kaijus just say get out of here with that crap. But outside of Kaijus, the Invoke engine can make Mechabo, which does the negation, which can really control and really irritate somebody. I really don't like the Invoke deck that much because it can just wreck people, but it does have a consistency issue from what I hear. So with that being said, it had to make it on this list, same reason ABC. Tier 1 deck got weakened and the deck was already solid for what it does. And you might even want to add the Artifact engine to that deck, because I remember at one point some people was trying out True Draco Invoke Artifact because Artifact Mortec, popping a card, Invoke Mechabo, making the light, doing a negation. I mean, there's all kind of crazy things you can do with the Invoked and True Draco engine, which is why it had to make it on this list. Number 4, Heralds. Now, Herald, Cyber Angel shenanigans are going to be at an all-time high. Trust me on that, guys. Reason being, we have Preparation and Rites at 3, which is freaking insane, bro. Like, Preparation and Rites, it's just a +1 as soon as you activate it. And the Herald deck's consistency reminds me of Heroes, where it was always consistent. You can bring out Herald turn 1 90% of the time, 80% of the time. And with Prep at 3, this is going to up that percentage, maybe 5 or 10%. Nothing more to be said about that. It's just a really solid deck. It brings out the negation. You sit on the negation and just negate, and it's just boom, everything's done. If you guys don't know about Cyber Herald, you're going to be in a pretty good surprise. Downflaws, same thing as everything else. There's a Kaiju for that, and then you also have the fact that that deck does not have a way to just OTK you right off the bat. So if they're down on their resources and if they don't make Archlord Christia, which is what a lot of the people who play that deck tries to do, you can definitely get evenly matched, which is horrible for that deck, because that deck get evenly matched is GG no re. Try to fix that camera real fast. There we go. That deck gets evenly matched is GG no re. Number 3, Pendulum Magician Hybrid. Now, for whatever reason, people think Pendulum Magicians are dead. No, the deck is not dead. The deck got neutered. I mean, Skull Crab by Joker, okay, it got hit. That Iris mentioned, it got hit. But Pendulums as a mechanic is so freaking good, guys. Trust me on this. I remember a time when Skull Crab by Joker was hitting the Pepe format and the deck still did pretty decent. They still have Wisdom My Magician, and they still have a lot of the other shenanigans. Now, I'm not a Pendulum expert, I'm not gonna sit here and shitcode like I know everything about the deck, but the deck has the potential because it's a Pendulum-based deck. People will just figure out new ways to reinnovate the deck. So I predict the deck will still do good, but it's not going to be as high as it was like in this last format. Like I said, the deck is not going to be good as it was last format, but the deck is just going to still be pretty solid. Number 2, Trickstars. Now, moving forward, a lot of people probably felt like Trickstars would be the best deck of the format, and I'm here to tell you, no, it's not. Trickstars as a deck, right? I like it for what it does. It burns and it beat down. When I was a kid, I always wanted decks that burn and beat down. As I got older, I realized Trickstars is just, I don't like decks like that. It's just too unfair and just dumb. But for what it does it well. Has Trickstar Reincarnation banished in your hand, which is great, right? It's really good. But Spirals, which is the best deck, is the #1 deck on this list, best deck in the format in my personal opinion, still has enough to beat it. First turn sleeper plays, broken. OCG, Spirals is arguably hit worse with Ancient Fairy Dragon being banned. So when you conjure up the fact that in the OCG, arguably Spirals is in a worse condition than they are in TCG now, evidently Spirals still have enough to be your tier 1 deck, tier 1.5. I don't think they're tier 0 anymore. They're beatable now. They're beatable. They're more manageable because Resort got hit down to 1. But with that being said, all it takes is one resort to make a crazy board in passing, unless the opponent has the Ash Blossom or the Ghost over to pretty much conjure up some damage against you. But when you think about the power, I didn't realize how powerful. I played Spirals, right? But I didn't realize the power of first turn resort with Sleeper, with Spiral, the guy that goes under him to protect the Sleeper. And I'm just sitting here playing my heroes, and it made heroes feel so fair because he was protected from all angles. I just sitting there with the crap face doing nothing. Now that's just me playing heroes, but I'm pretty sure a lot of decks are going to be that way because a lot of decks can't just out the Sleeper first turn board where everything's protecting the board. That's 2 free cards you're going to lose. You have to have a way to combat that, and Magicians, which is why it's on the list, and Trickstars can definitely combat that. Trickstars can combat that with Reincarnation, banishing the hand, and etc. So, I mean, overall, to complete the video, Trickstars number 2, I believe, even though it's a burn deck, there's a lot of ways to out the deck. Even the deck's not even the best deck right now, it's just doing good. So moving forward, it's not that great. The Spirals, someone's gonna just make the custom good build. It's kind of like how Zodiac, when everything got limited back last year in Zodiac format, and Zodiac was still the best deck. That's gonna be the same thing with Spirals. People are just gonna evolve the decks and move from there. So with all that being said, guys, this is my top 10, what I predict to be the top 10 best decks post February 5th. If there was a deck that you guys would have liked to see on this list that wasn't on this list, post that in the comment section down below. And as you guys already know, I'm gonna be dropping some fire content this week. I'm gonna be dropping the top 10 budget decks of this format, probably either Wednesday or tomorrow, actually, depending on how I feel like going about it. Dropping my Mass Hero deck profile. And I'm just gonna try to bring you guys more competitive Yu-Gi-Oh content because that's what I like to do, bring you guys competitive Yu-Gi-Oh content. So, with all that being said, man, if there was a deck that was on the list, post it below. Subscribe if you haven't. Innovation YGO, and I'm signing out. Peace and stay innovative. Deuces.